bringing up the Z's again. We started with pizza, but then that took us back to what we were talking about earlier, and Xavier was brought up bazaar in the game because he said bazaar now. And the Leaning Tower of Pisa is P-I-Z-A. And then, I'm not going to go too far into that, but the Z being all over the place like that, when you have the three-letter thing, it's a third-dimensional world. So pizza, it's a five-letter word, but we're going to the third letter, so it's P-I-Z. But when a Z comes before a Z, it's like talking about the quality of the Z before the quality of the Z. Sounds weird, so it sort of eliminates it. But it makes it a letter, which would sort of be what's the letter before a Z? Or letter after a Z, I mean? Because you have ZZ. It would be an A. So it would be ZZA, and AA would be E. So it's pie. That's why pizza is pie, but a pie is a blueberry pie, a raspberry pie, a something entitled identified pie is the middle letter of that three-letter word. Pizza has all kinds of stuff on it. The crust isn't always the same. It's usually a special crust, or a stuffed crust, or a sauce, and a cheese, and extra cheese, 10 kinds of cheese, Asiago, mozzarella, Parmesan, and all the toppings. So pizza is just a conglomeration of all kinds of stuff, all over the place. So, and then Xavier said Tasmania, because we know that in real life, they run all over the place. But in the cartoon, he made it spinning around and stuff.
It had the tornado thing. That's why I said it, because it Z's over and over and like a...
Oh yeah, and he does that too. He does that too when he goes. Yeah. They show him, and he comes to this cactus, or this guy.
Even like a tornado goes like this. And so if you had a constant Z's going over slash down to the beginning, over slash down to the beginning of the thing.
Actually, you know what that would be called, right? We'd say swirl.
Kind of thing.
We'd say swirl, but what that would go before the word vacuum would be, it's actually a word, swizzle. You've heard of swizzle stick?
I've heard of swizzle.
That's because it goes woo, woo, woo. It makes some kind of, the noise sounds like it's here when you're going, and it's like woo, 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 woo. It's like, it's called a swizzle because it's a source. You can't identify it, just like water, just like whistle, because it's all over the place. Swizzle and whistle.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's just that noise is all over the place. You can swing it this way, and once it gets going, you can even stop it for a couple seconds, like a split second. But it's cool because swizzle is a word, but that word is in that too. But what I was going to say about the Z, bazaar. The word bazaar, because we got the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and he's thinking that's just bizarre because he threw in another Z word. And he was saying how earlier bazaar has two Z's, and I was like, no, it doesn't, because bazaar is like B-I-Z-A-A-R. And I was thinking about, B-I-Z-A-R-R-E. That's like how you spell the word bazaar.
Yeah.
But the word bazaar, when you're talking about items you buy at like a fair from medieval times, they call it the bazaar. And it's spelled B-A-Z-A-A-R. And why is it that? Because it's a 6-letter word, and you can break that into and say it's B-A-Z before A-A-R. Or you could go letter by letter by letter by letter, but that would change what letter the word I use to get the same definition. It would confuse people. So I'm going to do it in 3s and 3s. Unless it's a 5-letter word, I'll do it in the whole 5-letter thing. So anyway, B-A-Z is like a body, like, and like the A is like, it's announced, it's all, or like, it doesn't mean, I'm trying to use just one word, but it's the act. So it's whatever it is. If you go to the bazaar, it's a building, and it's addressed somewhere. So let's say the address of this place, because it's a place. So it's a building and an address, and it's Z. People come from all over to go there. Okay? Yeah. And then the next one is A, which is like all kinds of stuff, like the actions, the addressed items. So it's AA. You could say the addressed items, or you could say there's a bunch of A, like there's a bunch of acts, or a bunch of accessories. There's a bunch of accessories. People are trying to get a hold of accessories, goods, okay? The A, I'm trying to stay on A. People are trying to get those accessories. That's the first A. The next A is people are there from all over also trying to get rid of their accessories from all over. So B, it's a building. A, it's the address. Z, at the same time I can say body, act, and Z is that stuff all over the zenith, it's all over. So I can use those same words, but I'm using different ones to just make a point. So that Z is stuff all over. Then the first A is the people who come there from all over to sell. And the second A is the people who go there all over to buy. And the R is reoccurring, or say like you're going there to buy the product. So you're like they represent it. You come there to react to it, or that whole thing is just that. It's a representation of that. That last word could finish it, Or you could say AAR finishes it, and that would be like act reoccurring. People going there. So bizarre. Like ER is energy reoccurring, but AAR would be act reoccurring. AARP for old people, act reoccurring people. And it's true. AARP is a fucking synonym or those letter things, and it means that.
It's for old people.
And it's people who have insurance.
They have to be
people who need insurance.
They have to be 65.
Yeah, and listen to this: people who have A to access, people who want A to access the insurance to access, retired persons, AARP. So yes, it says retired persons in it, but at the same time, that's the the representation person, or the represented person, or the whatever pie, the reactionary or the reoccurring. Because by the time you're old, yes, you're reoccurring. Sorry. So AARP. So those silly things. That's along the line of bizarre. Because all the old people from all over, and all the old people suppliers have insurance from all over. AARP. Like, just like bizarre. If you said bizarre, it would be the products you buy there. But you wouldn't say that, you would say garb. Because it usually has a title and you give it a body instead of a p. It's not a product. You start calling it, an item. So that gives it an I. You don't go, all the items. You do. But if you get it, you put it in something with a B, which is a bag. Because it's a body of something. Like, it all goes back to where it leaves, it's in a body of something. Automobile. Like, beel is a body-identified life energy, or life expressed. Like, beel means that. Bile is something that you, and it's body, from your body, identified L, the line, and then you express it. It's bile. It's what gets rid of the food, or it's what you throw up. It's fucking crazy, but those are all right there. And I'm glad I started it for something really small and caught little silly stuff.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I caught those by accident. I think I was bile. I didn't mean to talk about...
7 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't mean to talk about bile. I'm sorry, but that was actually cool.